in our practice, what I really wanted to talk to you guys about is, what are the things that you're doing to honor your life? What are the things that you're doing? Well, we talk a lot about, well, I'm trying to do this or I'm trying to do that. And trying is a concept, it's an idea. There is no such thing as trying. There's either doing or not doing. So when we say I'm trying, but we're actually creating action towards that thing, you're doing it. You're not trying to do it. You are doing it. But on the same token, if you're thinking about it, but you're not doing anything, you're not taking any conscious actions or making any conscious choices to affect real change, then you're not really doing anything at all. So we want to ensure that the time that we're investing in the thoughts we're thinking, in the things that we're investing our energy in mentally, that we're actually taking that into fruition with our actions, right? So anything we're doing or working towards, we need to be taking the actions that draw us towards that specific outcome. So it sounds like a really easy concept, and truth is simple. That's the cool thing, like all truth is simple. But there's ways that we can actually engage a little bit more. Last Reiki Restorative class, we talked about how we're in that hustle and grind, mentality most of the time, and that we think we have to do all of these things. And really, sometimes it's about cutting back and paring away those things that are draining our energy, that we've been putting too much energy into, that aren't producing fruit, right? They're not bearing anything for us in our existence that is life affirming. And so then we look at the things of like, what am I doing that's actually truly honoring my life experience and really bringing that vitality and life into my daily experience? And if you don't feel like you're doing much, then this is a great opportunity to kind of look at that. The cool thing is you've already agreed to this process. And even during the process, you may be like, oh my gosh, why did I do this? This is like an hour of my day, potentially an hour and 20 minutes if you're doing also the 40-day sadhana. But if you think about it, a 24-hour day, and you're giving yourself, directly you, just for you, this 1 hour and potentially 20 to 30 minutes a day, that's not a lot. And, we talked about too last time how when we agree to change, we agree to this new experience, the spirit has kind of been waiting for you to invest in it and waiting for you to take notice and to start doing things that are affirming of this experience. And your spirit will like leap out of you, jump forward and say, oh, great. Like she or he is really like doing the work of bringing me this full life experience, and now I'm going to participate as much as I can too, which everything's in alignment. Everything is working together towards the highest and greatest good. There's no part of the being that's in resistance to it at that point, and everything flows so much easier. Some ways that we can like really bring that back into our life experience and really honor the life experience is treating everything like a ceremony or a ritual, a very special experience. When you're in a ceremony or a ritual, a lot of people think about, witchcraft and stuff like that and whatever. And, a lot of people experience ceremony. They do ceremony in church. There's ceremony everywhere. So it's not about creating these series of events to give a specific outcome. The ritual is to heighten the experience and to show gratitude for all of the components involved in it. So like even if I'm putting lotion on my legs, let's say after I get out of the shower, I can be just so much in gratitude for my legs and the power that they have, the mobility that they afford me, the way that I can move and do things and have a richer life because of these amazing, wonderful gifts. Instead of looking at the mirror and saying, oh man, I've got fat there, that's new cellulite, ew, gross, how did I get that? The first thing that we usually do when we look at ourselves is tear ourselves apart. The first thing that we do when we look at ourselves should be to be in gratitude, deep gratitude. The more that we're in deep gratitude for this thing, this experience, the more it responds, and we're that magnet for more of that amazing energy. So we're becoming that vibration that draws more of those things in. Just like making a cup of hot tea. I can really make that more of a ritual experience where I'm making all of these components that are so special for this cup of tea, and I'm just thinking about how amazing of an experience that is for me, how special that is, how good it makes me feel when I dedicate that time for myself. Or when I'm in my practice, instead of being like, oh man, another hour today, like, golly, I don't know why I'm doing this, saying like, wow, I get this opportunity to invest totally in me. I'm always upset that other people aren't noticing, that always upset that other people aren't doing for me. We have to learn to take care of ourselves first. And so taking the opportunity to really be in such a deep gratitude for the opportunity to come back to the self, to listen to the heart space, to figure out what I'm in alignment with so that I can take real conscious actions that create real world results so that I can actually birth these things into the world. I'm a co-creator. This is the state of my being. I'm a co-creator. I'm a manifester. I'm always manifesting something. It's not always what I think I want because I'm so hyper-focused on those things. So like even if I want something really bad, if I'm constantly stressed out that I'm not going to get it, or, oh gosh, look, this thing is happening and this is not how I intended it to happen or the way that I perceived it would happen in my mind, something's just clearly wrong, this is all going bad, then your mind is going to feed more of that energy and it's going to take you in a direction that you don't want to experience. Instead of recognizing I don't have control over everything that happens around me, my higher self knows better than I do how this should best manifest for my personal experience. I'm going to trust in that. And when things start to look out of place, I'm going to trust that things are actually always in alignment and things are always still happening for my highest and greatest good. And I'm going to continue to invest my energy in creating more of the beauty around me. Every time I go outside, I take notice of all of the beauty. I stop, I look, I listen, I participate. I'm an active participant in this time and space. Just like we talked about before, I am a part of this. I am not a visitor here. I am a part of this experience. This is my home right now. This is exactly where I belong. This is my time and space. So during your practice today, just thinking about those things of like, where am I honoring my life? If I'm honoring my life, where am I not honoring my life? What are the things that drain me, that are too much? Where do I need to cut away? Where do I need to cut away the dead stuff? Where do I need to put more of my energy so that it creates more beauty and more life? And all of those kinds of things. And how can I engage in those experiences in a more ritualistic, ceremonial way that really shows appreciation and depth of gratitude and beauty for this experience, so I can open up more space for more of that to happen. And that also puts me in the moment. When I'm in ceremony, when I'm in ritual, when I'm doing this, I'm in the moment. I'm totally immersed in the experience. And so that's what we want. We want to be more present in this current moment. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow doesn't exist. I'm right here, right now. What's happening within that space? How can I shift that into something that I want to experience more of? So just thinking about those things today as we're coming into our practice. We're going to come into our very first posture, which I like to start every class with the same posture for restorative. And it's just because I think it kind of helps start to really get us into that headspace of connecting and releasing. And so we're going to take that bolster prop, either your rolled up blanket or your bolster if you actually have a bolster, and place it long ways on your mat. Come on up on the knees. We're going to come into that supported child's pose. So toes come to touch. If you need to roll up a blanket and place them between the knees or towards the ankles and under the glutes, then feel free to do that. And then stack as many of those pillows as you need to make you feel really safe and comfortable. You can add the little pillow up underneath there, just give it a little bit more of an angle. And then whenever you're ready to come into posture, long through the spine, dropping the hands to meet the earth, and then walking the hands forward until you're gently resting completely one cheek onto those props. And then move in whatever ways you need to make it really comfortable so that you're fully relaxed, fully supported by those props. You're not holding your physical body in any way. Everything is completely relaxed. What are the things that you are or can be doing regularly that make you feel healthy, whole, and good? What are those things that bring you lots of joy? Like when we were a little kid and we were so easily excitable. Like maybe your mom would say, hey, we're going to go get ice cream this afternoon, or hey, we're going to go roller skating this weekend. And you would feel this well of like excitement just blow up inside of your heart space. And you would feel it in every part of your body, just so excited to be able to go do this special thing that would bring you so much joy. How often are you making opportunities for those kinds of experiences in your daily life? Because it's like we've talked about before, life is not happening to us. Life is happening because of us. I'm creating this experience. What am I choosing to engage in? What am I choosing to invest my energy, my time, my money? What experiences am I choosing to engage in? These are the things that are offering you your specific quality of life. And doing those things regularly puts you more consistently in a higher vibration. So the highest vibration energies that you can personally engage in: gratitude, love, which love is essentially acceptance and allowance of what is, without the desire to change, without the attachment to the outcome. You have to move it from a concept, an ideal, a thought about what you want to do, and turn it into actions that actually create the reality. So taking responsibility for your life experience, taking note of those areas where you could be more investing in those things that make you feel healthy and whole and good. As the mind wanders, drawing the attention back to the breath, that inhalation and exhalation. Drawing it past the upper lung, further still past that lower lung, through the diaphragmatic area, and all the way down into the belly at the navel point center. Equal length of inhalations to exhalations. Start coming back to the breath, drawing the awareness back into the physical body, wiggling the fingers and the toes just a little bit. And then whenever you're ready, pressing into the palms of the hands, drawing that upper body up away from your props. Walk the hands back towards the knees. We're actually going to leave these elevated pillows and props here for our next posture. So go ahead and take whatever little pillow you need and place it down where your head's going to be. But make this as high as you need to feel really comfortable and safe, because we're going to place our legs on top. And the higher the legs are, the easier it is on your heart space. So just take it as high as you need to. I'm going to put a little bit more here. And then we're going to take our hip to the side of the edge of the bolster. We're going to lift one leg on top. Press the glutes down towards the edge of that stack of pillows, and release your body down, resting the head and neck on your little pillow. Then we're going to take the other leg. We're going to cross it over and just allow that foot to hang. Arms are going to frame the body. Palms of the hands can be down or face up. So just listening to your body and whatever feels best. If this doesn't feel good and comfortable to have your leg crossed and that foot hanging, just go ahead and lengthen through both legs and allow them both to gently rest there. Covering up with a blanket if you want to cocoon your energy inside as you're resting in this posture. Just listening to yourself and whatever you need to feel comfortable and safe. And then begin to allow the mind to drift. And remembering that as different memories or thoughts or feelings come up, that's really a common thing when we make ourselves available, when we come into this place of reception. Our body and mind says, oh, she or he has time to deal with this stuff that we've been stuffing down for so long. Let's show it to her and give her the opportunity, or he, to move through it, let it go, to move into a different space. And so when that happens, instead of panicking or getting frustrated or sad or upset, we're going to resist the urge to get emotionally attached to what we're witnessing, just to be the observer and to allow ourselves to see it without becoming emotionally entangled, without telling a story about it or attaching it to another experience. Just witness it and allow it to move through you. Feel into it until you can feel it move past you. And then open up your heart to a new energetic state of being, whether it be gratitude, love, whatever it is, allowance, acceptance. Focusing on the breath. You're always already completely whole. We're not trying to become whole. We're not trying to become something that we're not. We're not chasing a proverbial carrot. Always reaching for the next best part of ourselves and never appreciating where we are in the moment. It's about learning to allow and accept and appreciate exactly who we are right now in the current moment without the desire to change, just experience. To experience and allow to create space for transformation to occur without forcing or pressing. In this way, we move with the natural flow of our experience. When we listen for the desire of the heart, the voice of the spirit that doesn't use words, it will communicate with us through images, through thoughts, feelings, ideas. If we're willing to listen, we're willing to receive that information, then we can take conscious actions motivated by conscious choices that reflect the desire of the heart, all motivated by the current embodiment of what you are right now in this moment. Always whole, always complete. If you're resisting the relaxation and restoration, remembering that this is an opportunity to master the mind, allowing the mind to become the tool. By focusing on the breath, focusing on the music, listening to the body, being present in that space. Train the mind to respond to the desire of the heart. Take a few deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting go of any of those energies that are no longer serving. Just draw the awareness back to the self just enough to be able to shift position just a little bit. Uncrossing the top leg and releasing the other leg from the top. Draw it to the side of your pillows or bolster, and then placing the other leg on top of those props, and then crossing the opposite leg on top this time, and allowing that foot to hang. Making sure that that lower leg is resting just over the knee. We don't want to put any pressure on the kneecap. Keeping those hands gently resting into the earth, face down for grounding, face up for reception. So just listen to your body and what it needs, and do whatever you need to maximize the effectiveness of this posture. Put a blanket on top of yourself if you need to, and just breathe into the body. And this time, in an act of self-care and in an act of proactiveness and taking responsibility for the body, breathing into any of those spaces where you're feeling any tension or discomfort. Not just that physical discomfort, but even that emotional discomfort. Sending that breath of life into those spaces, visualizing that place shifting into something new. When you make your awareness, focus your awareness on that place, what does it look like? Is it dark? Is it sludgy? Is it sticky? And then sending that breath into that space, sending that love, that allowance and acceptance into that space, and visualizing that energy shifting into something new, whether it be a golden light, a pink glittery light. Some people like to visualize it turning into a beautiful group of flowers or greenery, new life. Taking note of your energetic state of being. How does that energy feel flowing inside of the body? How does it feel in the auric field? If you're not feeling any particular discomfort today, just visualizing that breath penetrating through every cell, every atom, all of the spaces in between, every single part of your being, allowing that prana, that new life, that oxygen to penetrate all of those parts of being. Always coming back to the breath. Come into this world on the breath, and you will leave this world on the breath. Not necessarily leaving this world or the universe. It's more like leaving this embodiment. We're going to transform into a new embodiment. But we make that transformation on a breath, exhaling from one embodiment and inhaling into another. Life itself is a constant state of death and rebirth. Those aspects of ourself that are no longer serving, those pieces of our being that are no longer meant for our journey are shifting, changing, transforming into the new aspects of our being that are more supportive of the time and space that we're entering into, the next phase of our existence. This happens again and again, hundreds, thousands of times during one life experience. So we cannot be afraid of that transition. We cannot be afraid of that transformation. And then by controlling the breath, really giving ourselves over to it, we're creating ease within those transformations. So taking a couple deep breaths here, really connecting to that space, deep inhalation, allowing the belly to rise, fully exhaling and pulling that navel towards the spine, really releasing all of that stagnant oxygen in those lungs. Gently moving those fingertips and those toes, rotating those ankles if you need to. Gently uncrossing the top leg, releasing that foot into the earth on the side of those props, and then releasing the opposite leg. You can come over onto your side and press up into a comfortable seated position, or do whatever else it is that you need to find that space. So our next posture is going to be a legs up the wall posture. So if you're not close to a wall, then go ahead and maneuver yourself over towards that. If you're not interested in putting your legs up the wall, that doesn't feel comfortable to you today for some reason, then go ahead and leave your props up like this. You can just gently rest both legs up here on your props. Now, if you're going to come into your legs up the wall posture, go ahead and grab your small pillow for your head and place it wherever it is that you think your head's going to fall. And then you're going to take the side of your hip and press it directly up against the wall, coming down onto your forearms, swinging one leg up and then the other, and then just pressing yourself into place. You can just relax into this posture here. Make sure that you have that pillow gently resting the arms into the earth, palms face up or face down. Allow the feet to fall to the side and start to breathe into this posture. That legs up the wall posture is super beneficial for the heart. Takes stress off of that heart, allows it to not have to work so hard. And just thinking about the hard work that the heart has to do and just being in gratitude for a moment for everything that it does. Every moment of every day, whether you're sleeping, you're awake, you're resting, you're in restoration, the heart is always still working. Always there, doing its job, providing that blood, that life force energy to the entire body, nourishing all of those parts of your being. So just being in deep, deep gratitude for that right now in this moment. You can also always put a bolster or your rolled up blanket underneath the hips and then draw the legs up into the sky. For so long, we have lived our lives in a place of autopilot. And I really dislike that term woke. I think I mentioned this before, just because it's overutilized, but it is time that we wake up and that we become more conscious beings. Everything is more intentional. Everything is more, we are more aware of what works for us, where my energy is best invested, aware of those places where it's not. And one of the best things that we can do to contribute to a new energetic time and space, this new paradigm, this new universal expression of being, is to heal ourselves. I think we often think that the work that we do, the things that we do, we have to be honored and acknowledged for on some platform. We have to be appreciated in some way through some public expression of validation for the work that we do. But the best work is the small stuff that adds up to the big stuff. The best work is the healing work that you do on yourself, lifting your own vibration, sending that out into your magnetic field, that magnetic field that extends 25 feet in all directions. Allowing that to be the energy that helps to shift us into a new time and space, anchoring that energy into the earth giving other people permission to engage in that space as well. Authenticity is contagious. Healing is contagious. Courage is contagious. Bravery is contagious. Sending that out, emitting that out into our energetic field. Engaging in that like 100 monkeys theory, where if enough of us start to do that, enough of us in the same area start to lift the energy of that space, that high tide will lift all boats. And believing that to be true, trusting in that knowledge of the heart, that it means something, that what I do matters. Stop struggling against the waves. Relax and focus on the breath. Float to the top so that you can create that investment in the self, so that you can do your own healing work, so that you can anchor that energy into this earth, into this time, into this space, and share it with the world. We talked about that quantum entanglement last time. That quantum entanglement says that the energy, the things I'm doing right here, right now, can affect a star across the very universe. You matter. What you do matters. Honor your life experience. Do your own healing work. This is how we create real change, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. We don't need acknowledgement. We don't need validation. We don't need any of those things to engage in that work. Nobody needs to honor that aspect of us for it to mean something, for it to matter. It matters anyways. Celebrate your own wins. Bring that joy and that beauty and that honoring of the being. Do those things yourself. Slowly and gently coming back into the body. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Taking those deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Point the toes and flex them. Feeling that deep gratitude for all of those places in the body that we're moving, making this that ritualistic experience. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, rolling over onto one of your sides, releasing those legs away from the wall, and then coming back into the center of our mat. This time we're going to take our pillow to the top of our mat. We're going to take up that rolled up bolster and gently rest it where our knees are going to rest. If you need to add another pillow to that, then feel free to do so. Just listen to your body. Draping the knees over that space. And then slowly, with grace and ease, releasing the spine all the way down into the earth. Take that pillow, adjust it to whatever comfort you need to. Allow those feet to fall to the side. And relaxing those arms at the side of the body, palms are face up to receive or face down to ground. You can even place the hands on the belly here. If you want to connect a little bit deeper to that sense of your own being, that lower triangle. Places where we hold on to a lot of fear, past experiences, trauma. Just offering yourself that nurturing love and compassion during your practice today. And again, finding the breath. We have to learn to be honest with ourselves. To recognize that when things don't feel right, it's because I'm not making a choice that I need to make that's going to be more supportive of my experience. There's a lot of times where we feel like we're limited in our ability to choose. We perceive that we maybe only have one or two choices, when in reality we have other choices that potentially we're afraid to make those choices because so much will change, so much will be different. We have to release that fear of the different, of the change. Evolution and growth and expansion always involve tremendous amounts of change. So we have to learn to come into agreement with a change that presents itself through the desire of the heart, and to follow through so that we can create that reality for ourselves, tapping into that co-creator aspect of our own being. Remembering how much power is inside of you to facilitate that change. How strong you really and truly are. And that even when things look really scary, we have no idea what could possibly come next, we're so afraid of the choices that we know we need to make. That ultimately those higher aspects of our being are always in control, always directing the experience. That we could be saying no to a tremendous amount of ease and joy and richness in our lives by refusing to engage in that space. What is your heart calling you towards right now? What change? What growth? Where does that heart space want you to say yes and to say no? And just remembering that you always have time to nurture yourself. You always have time to honor your life experience. It's a choice we make not to. It's a choice we make to allow the other distractions of our experience draw us away from the fundamental, most important aspects of this experience. Taking care of the self, creating opportunities for joy, for beauty, for transformation to occur. Those are the things that should take priority. Those are the things that are worth your precious time. That one resource that is finite, that you only have a limited amount of in this current embodiment, this current expression, before you transform into the next embodiment. Utilize the resources. Take advantage of the current moment. Fully engage in the desire of the heart. Trust in yourself that you are strong enough. And the unknown does not mean bad. The unknown is where all things are birthed from. The darkness is where all things are birthed from. So diving into those deep waters, allowing yourself to engage in that space and to trust that everything will be okay. As long as we're listening to the heart space, we're making those conscious choices and taking those conscious actions from that voice alone. That is what it means to live and to not just merely be here. Just to exist. Time that we choose to live. Time that we choose to wake up from our slumber, to be more conscious and actively engaged in this beautiful, miraculous life experience, this opportunity that you've been given. Slowly and gently waking up that body by wiggling those fingers and toes. Take a nice deep stretch by reaching those arms overhead. Fingertips are nice and engaged. Point the toes, drawing the knees into the chest. You can rock side to side or back and forth a little bit here before you draw yourself upright into a comfortable seated position. Grounding into this easy seat, waking the body back up, further taking the bridge, this time from the spirit back to the physical body, back into our awareness, back into the current moment, back into this dimension of existence. Sending those roots into the earth from every point of contact, from the body to the mat to the earth. Anchoring yourself into this time and space. Taking note of the energetic shifts that you've experienced in your body during your practice today. Lengthening through the spine, dropping the shoulders back and down, crown of the head shines into the sky, tucking that chin back ever so slightly down. We're going to finish our practice today with 3 long Satnams, taking those hands into the heart space, pressing the thumbs into the chest bone. That pressure on that chest bone from the sides of the thumbs releases a calming feeling in the entire body. So remembering that tool to utilize when you're feeling stressed or full of anxiety. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. And then inhale to begin. Satnam. 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 Inhale deeply. Exhale, dropping the chin towards the chest and the crown towards the front of the room. The truth in me honors the truth in you, the authentic expression of who you are. I honor the beauty of your authenticity, and I'm so grateful for you joining me in class today.